C-STEP recently released a report on a study of energy efficiency in the Indian cement industry. The study was prepared in the context of the National Mission on Enhanced Energy Efficiency, or the NMEEE. The study provides useful insights for the successful implementation of the Perform, Achieve and Trade mechanism. The PAT scheme was launched by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency under the Ministry of Power. We have with us Dr. S.S. Krishnan, the principal investigator for this study, to share some of the findings of this report. He is also the co-convener of the Industry Working Group for the Planning Commission's Low Carbon Strategies for Inclusive Growth. Why did you look at the cement sector?
The Indian cement sector is the second largest in the world today. It accounts for about 9% of the industrial energy consumption in India and contributes to about 30% of the industrial emissions of the country. In a typical cement plant, the thermal energy that is consumed accounts for about 80 to 90% of the total energy consumption, and the remaining is purely electrical energy. Study is also timely because we found that there is considerable scope for saving energy in the cement sector, and it is very relevant to the national goals of energy security, climate change mitigation, and low carbon inclusive economic growth.
What are the key outcomes and features of this report?
The Bureau of Energy Efficiency, which is the statutory body of the Ministry of Power, Government of India, is implementing the Perform, Achieve and Trade, or PAT mechanism under the National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency, NMEEE. The study supports the BEE in the design and refinement of the baseline SEC calculation, which is the specific energy consumption of an individual plant. The study also enables individual plants to assess the impact, the techno-economic impact of some of these norms on their plants. As part of the study, the key features that we looked at for a plant were the technology that is being deployed, the process that they are following, as well as other factors like the material and energy balance and different measures that are available to improve energy efficiency in a plant. We did a very detailed financial analysis of some of these measures in different plants. We also selected a range of sample plants, about 9 plants in this study, in order to do a very detailed study to come out with learnings. Some of the new cements that are being developed around the world today offer great promise for reduced energy consumption as well as reduced emissions, and we included these in our study. We also examined the role of standards which are being prescribed by the Bureau of Indian Standards and which are of immediate relevance to the Indian cement industry.
Who are the stakeholders and what was your experience working with them?
The principal stakeholders included the Bureau of Energy Efficiency of the Government of India, the various cement industries and cement industry associations and non-governmental organizations including the Shakti Sustainable Energy Foundation. We had regular meetings with both BEE and representatives of the major cement industries. We also organized 2 interactive workshops which were part of the consultative process and which helped to build consensus among the principal stakeholders. At these meetings, we used it as a platform to raise awareness about PAT and also for discussions on the methodology. The concerns raised by industry stakeholders were addressed by officials of the Bureau of Energy Efficiency.
What are the key findings and lessons for India as well as for other countries who are intending to develop such programs?
The PAT mechanism is probably the only mechanism of its kind anywhere in the world which is addressing the issue of industrial energy efficiency. During our study, we found that there are various levers that exist within a cement plant in order to improve energy efficiency. These range from energy efficiency technologies and processes, increasing the share of blended cement, the use of alternate fuels and raw materials, and waste heat recovery systems. We also observed that a strong financial supporting mechanism is required to be developed along with PAT in order to enable industries to look at medium to long-term payback periods to improve the financial viability of many of these energy efficiency measures. We felt that the prescribed methodologies, policies and observations of this study could very easily be absorbed, customized and used by other countries in order to develop programs of their own for industrial energy efficiency.
What were some of the major challenges experienced during the course of the study and how were they addressed?
See, we found that every cement plant has a set of operational parameters that has a direct impact on its energy consumption. In addition, no 2 cement plants are alike. there exists a wide variation in these operation parameters from plant to plant. Therefore, it was very important to design a baseline SEC method which would take into account this industrial diversity. We also found that the baseline SEC needs to be normalized, considering various factors which are significant in terms of energy consumption, and these include the capacity utilization of a plant, the variation in the products that are being manufactured there, and by considering them in terms of the major product being manufactured by the plant, as well as the share of electrical energy that is being imported from the grid or being generated in-house through the use of captive power plants.
Going forward, what steps do you envision for C-STEP and the PAT mechanism?
The Perform, Achieve and Trade mechanism was notified by the Government of India on March 30th, 2012. This means that the 478 designated consumers will have exactly 3 years from that date in order to comply with these provisions. This also indicates that by the year 2014 to 15, there needs to be a sound measurement and validation mechanism in place in order to assess the performance of individual plants in the context of PAT. We propose to take several of our learnings and observations from this study into a detailed study of the energy efficiency of the Indian iron and steel sector. We are also examining the inclusion of new industrial units into the PAT mechanism. This will enable a wider set of industries to derive benefits from the PAT mechanism. At the same time, they will be able to contribute to the national goals of energy security, climate change mitigation, and low carbon inclusive economic growth.
Thank you, Dr. Krishnan, for sharing the insights from this report. We look forward to tracking developments on the PAT scheme.